But what about Murder Fairy Squirrel? What happened to him? I felt good. I didn't care that I blacked out. Honestly, I felt warm and fuzzy in the darkness. I never knew indulging in that kind of passion could be that good. I now just wanted to awaken, hopefully in a good way. Without a Murder Fairy Squirrel on my chest. My eyes eventually fluttered open, adjusting to the sight around me. I felt familiar silks underneath me, letting me know that I was in my bed. Aw, you could take me to your room, dude. Just saying. I slowly sat up, stretching from the tiredness that lingered. I felt very soft pain on my neck and shoulders, and I could feel my swollen lips pulse gently in healing. However, when I looked down at my body, I saw that my shirt had been pulled back up and rebuttoned, as if nothing had happened between me and Mathew. Mathew and I was just missing my ribbon. Before I turned to get out of bed, though, I spotted my ribbon on the pillow beside the one I slept on. It was tied around Simon Tabby. Joshua Tabby, darn it. It had a nice bow with a small note attached to it. I gently slipped the note from the tie and opened it to read it.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Please forgive me?
Aw, he's adorable. How cute. I stared at the note, letting the small smile grace my lips. He went too far? I enjoyed it a lot. It was cute, though, to imagine him thanking me for something we both did and enjoyed. I brought the note to my chest, letting the memories of our meeting flood my mind. And probably your panties. Indulge myself, too, Mathew. I looked at the time out of curiosity. The large white numbers on my phone showed 5:31 p.m. Yikes, 4 hours being knocked out and I still feel tired? It was Sunday, so I was allowed to sleep a little longer if I wanted to. And we're back to the skip button. Yay! And it's the next day, and I've had breakfast, and it's time for school. And I'm on my way out the door, but... Before I could reach the handle of the door, however, someone took my hand. Yes? Huh? I turned to see Mathew in his poor little puppy expression, who was holding my hand back with concerned frown on his face.
My name?
Yes, Mathew, yes. Your name?
My true name isn't Mathew.
Oh?
I want you to know my real name. If something were to happen.
What could possibly happen? I'm just going to school. His true name? What did he mean? Why was he telling me this now? Well, you see, game mechanic-wise, you made out with him, and you talked to him, and you hung out with him, and you've impressed him a lot, so... I mean, I don't know why. Why is he doing this? Mathew gently pulled me to him and leaned close, whispering in my ear.
My name is Zecaeru.
Zecaeru. I'm gonna roll my R on it. As he said his name, I could feel it lock into my memory. Something in my head would make sure I would never forget it. Mathew pulled away and smiled at me, despite still carrying worry in his eyes.
If you are in any danger, call my name.
Will do.
I promise that I'll come and help you.
You better. I stared up at Mathew, unable to say anything. I could only nod in response. Mathew smiled before releasing my hand and heading into the dining room. Enjoy breakfast, sweetie. See you after school. Something told me that name would be used eventually. And the skip button's returned. Yay! You know what? Girl... You are not worth my time. I'm just gonna walk away. I am more mature than you. No. Just no. And I am kidnapped. That escalated quickly. You know what? No, I'm gonna call for my hot boyfriend. Zecaeru. All of a sudden, a bright purple light engulfed the room, causing the devils around me to cover themselves.
What the?
Ah! Gusts of wind rushed past me, almost forcing me back. I covered my face with my arms, bracing myself and standing my ground. I tried to peek through my arms to see what was going on, but the light continued to shine brightly. As the gust slowly started to die, the light began to fade, revealing Matthew with his hands shoved into his pockets and his hood up. Oh, he's trying to be tough. That's so cute. Matthew, dot. Malik slowly moved his arms from his face, taking in the sight of Matthew before laughing hysterically. I know, he's so cute.
Are you kidding me? You summoned the crybaby runt?
You know, he's gonna try. And that was the sound of combat, but I need coffee. Real world coffee. My apologies. Malik's laugh was cut short, however, stopped by his grasp of pain and the thought of something embedding itself into flesh. I couldn't believe it, but somehow a knife had been stabbed into Malik's shoulder, causing him to grip it in pain. Aw, Murder Fairy Squirrel, did you come to help Daddy? I mean, Matthew, it's totally not our kid, shut up.
What the hell? A knife?
Yeah, a knife.
Next time, I won't miss your throat.
You tell him, sweetie, and oh, look at you being all cute and tough. Also, ew, pretty knife. Blue swirly pattern. Malik snarled before ripping the knife out of his shoulder and tossing it to the ground. He quickly raised his gun and shot at Matthew, resulting only in a stare wide-eyed at his target. In midair, a knife with Malik's bullet clashed and both collided to the ground between the demon and the devil. Matthew, did you literally bring a knife to a gunfight? You know that's an expression for a reason. I mean, I have total faith in you, sweetie. You're gonna win, but no. Matthew chuckled and pulled a hand out of his pockets, revealing a handful of knives laid out like a fan.
Too slow, Malix. Must suck being an old fart.
Hey. There. Malix instantly grew furious, charging at Matthew while shooting rounds at Matthew's shadow-covered face. Matthew followed suit, rushing backwards, and shot his knives at each of Malix's shots. Each shot was stopped by a flying knife, making multiple clangs beat through the air, of which we're not going to hear any of it. The remaining devils stared, trying to figure out what to do. Help Malix or watch in silence. Eris, however, walked up beside me and crossed her arms as she watched with an amused smirk on her face. Yeah, I know. Our boys are fighting. Meh. As Matthew backed into the far wall, he stood still, tossing knife upon knife at the incoming devil and his bullets.
Gotcha, you knife-throwing circus freak!
Hey, he is not a circus freak. I mean, he's a freak in other ways, but he doesn't even know that. I saw a smirk grow on Matthew's face before he hopped up and flipped over Malix. Well, okay, maybe he has a little carny in him, I didn't know. The devil skidded to a stop, barely bumping against the brick wall. Matthew, however, didn't give Malix the chance to turn before shooting multiple knives in Malix's back.
Bye-bye, Malix.
Yeah, bye-bye. Matthew tossed a knife into the air and caught it before chucking it at the back of Malix's head. The knife, sadly, didn't get to its target, as Malix stepped out of the way and turned to face Matthew with a face of pure rage.
You little shit! You think you're all that?
And a bag of chips, yeah. He is quite the kisser. Matthew brought out another knife and tossed it up and down in his hand, unchanging his cool, yet almost playful expression.
Little known fact, I just like having fun.
Aw, well, I'm pretty sure that's a common fact, but, each their own.
That's a load of bull, Matthew.
No, it's not.
You won't even fight me in your demon form. Why? Are you afraid I'll kill you as the demon scum you really are?
Hey, he is not scum. Demon form? I didn't understand. However, Matthew broke my thoughts from trying to figure that out.
Hey, mind closing your eyes for me?
No, now's really not the time for hot making out here. Huh?
What are you babbling about now?
Before I could answer, the tension suddenly went from warm to almost ice cold. Then, at that moment, something in the air changed. Ooh, sound effect. The air instantly went from frantic to still in energy. What could have been inscribed in tone as color red quickly turned into a deadly mix of purple and blue, as everything began to blend together all at once.
You asked for it, Malix! Now you're gonna get it!
Get it, sweetie. My eyes never strayed from Matthew's face, however, even as it changed. His eyes began to glow a bright golden color as the dark blue circles formed underneath Matthew's bare feet. Where did your shoes go? Pretty sure I had them when you showed up. I stared as Matthew's skin began to morph and shift, changing from human to something else. For some reason, I was both scared and incredibly intrigued at to see this new form. Oh, damn it, artists! Before I was allowed to see Matthew's new form, however, a pair of hands quickly covered my eyes. Instinctively, I reached up to grip them on. Trying to pull them off, a voice stopped me.
It's me. Don't look.
Damn it, Damien! I listened carefully and let the last two words linger in my mind. Don't look. Why? What was being hidden from me? I wanted to know. But something told me to obey Damien's command. Gosh darn it, stop using mind control on me. I suddenly heard gunshots, making me tense up. But then I heard the sound of multiple stabs, followed by Malix's screams of pain. The stabbing and slashing sound of blood and slashing grew more frantic in number. How many knives was Matthew using? Many. The answer is many. Maybe it was better that I wasn't able to see.
Matthew, enough!
Keep going. Almost instantly after James's command, the sound stopped. The only thing anyone could hear was the dripping of blood.
I guess I went a little overboard, huh?
A little? Maybe. I can't see.
Malix is definitely dead.
Yay!
But you've lost your glamour spell.
Good boy. Glamour spell? What did he mean? Why did Matthew sound so different? Why was this being hidden from me? Yeah, gosh darn it. Why?
It's a spell that makes us look human.
I know. I froze. Look human. They didn't have human forms after all? What did they look like?
Like demons.
Well, obviously. Thank you, Captain Obvious Damien. As if Eric knew what Damien was talking about, Eric cleared his throat and spoke up, followed by the sound of a cork popping out of a bottle.
Well, not for much longer, Princess. Here, Matthew.
Aww.
Oh, hey, you found my potion. Thanks.
Aww. Just I have to change back if he doesn't wanna. I could hear the small clinking of glass being passed before Matthew guzzled down a liquid of some sort. The feel of the air around me gently began to warm back up, insinuating that everything had returned to normal. Yeah, air quotes, normal. Finally, Damien moved his hands from my eyes, allowing me to see around me once again. The devils, including Aris, had fled. On top of Malix's body was a dirty sheet. Where did this sheet come from? That was quickly turning red from the blood. The wall behind it was painted red in blood, still dripping onto the floor and onto the blanket. The blanket looked like it was covered by a mound of dirt instead of a body. The boys, however, had gathered around me, all of them, including Matthew, looking like nothing had happened. Yeah, you know, it's just Monday. Come on. It's like Taco Tuesday is tomorrow. What just? I tried to speak, but everything zipped around in my head at the whole event, and I felt like speaking was impossible.
Let's just get you home, miss.
Yeah,
There's nothing more to
let's
see
go.
here.
Yeah, I could only nod. What had happened boggled my mind to the point of disbelief. I was second-guessing everything, lost in a sea of what and how and when. As we walked out of the warehouse, I looked to Matthew for some form of sign that I wasn't dreaming. Matthew rubbed the back of his neck, walking forward, as if to get away from what had happened. "Oh, you did okay, Boo. It's all right." It was over. No, Act 1 of the game is over. There is much more to come. Promise. And skip button. I looked to Matthew, feeling my heart flutter in my chest. I didn't want him to leave, but would he ask to stay? I hoped that he would say no and ask me to stay longer. As if he knew what I wanted, Matthew moved and stepped to me, taking my hand in his. He gently smiled as he spoke.
I want you to know that you've been really generous to us.
I know.
And I want to thank you for letting us stay here.
Rob.
But Is it okay if we stay a little longer?
Yeah, obviously. Place is way too big for me to clean by myself. My heart skipped while a large red blush ran across my cheeks. The boys stared at Matthew wide-eyed, but didn't dare speak out. Matthew stepped back to give me space, returning to where he was. Taking Eric with him. I moved my gaze across each boy, trying to make a decision. And skip button. You know what, boys? You should stay. Because, like I said, this place is way too big for me to clean by myself, and Matthew is such a sweetie, and, I don't want to be alone with Murder Fairy Squirrel, because I think it's gonna kill me one day. I wanted them to stay. And skip button. I watched a happy smile grow on Matthew's lips. He shared my excitement knowing we would be together longer. Who knew how long we would stay together? All I cared about was that I would be with him. Aww, good for you. And his brothers disappear. The others quickly left to finally rest, leaving me and Matthew alone at last. My heart fluttered a bit as Matthew practically skipped closer to me in excitement. It was really cute to see him that way. Well, he is just adorable in general, and I need to pinch his cheek emoji or something. So I didn't do anything but smile.
Thank you so much for letting us stay.
Aw, you're adorable. You're welcome, Matthew. I'm happy to have you stay here. I watched the smile brighten a bit before he cleared his throat and chuckled a bit. I didn't know if it was tiredness or my growing attachment to him, but I let myself sway a bit on my feet. However, Matthew's face made it clear that he wanted to say something else, making me forget that my bed was also calling for me.
Listen, about what happened at the warehouse.
Stuff happens. No, it's fine. You did what you had to do. I understand. Also, now aren't you glad you took my energy? I had accepted that everything happened and knew that Matthew had to do what he had to do. He was real, and he was someone I didn't want to be without, even if that meant nodding against my curiosity. Besides, I was too tired to explore that memory further. I have, stuff to do. Matthew nodded before holding out a hand to me.
Come on, then. Let's get you to bed.
Yay, bed! I nodded before Matthew gently lifted me in his arms like a bride and carried me to my room. I didn't want to leave his arms, leaning my head against his chest, but eventually I was slowly lowered to my bed and covered with my bed covers. I was still in my school clothes, but I was too tired to strip or care. Girl, you are never too tired to strip. Come on. I looked to Matthew, fighting a yawn from escaping me as he gently ran a hand over my hair.
Have a good night, okay? I'll make breakfast again in the morning.
Aww, that's boyfriend. I nodded, with a tired smile before watching him slowly stand and leave my room, closing the door. A wave of happiness washed over me as I laid in my bed. I made a good choice. Sure, it would be hard, but I could tell that I would be able to manage it. Help around the house and being with a man whom I was slowly starting to fall for would be worth it. And my skip button is back. Yay! Missed you. And Anna's here, and yay. You know what? I'm just gonna tell him. Diana is here. I don't think she's happy. And what, girl? Hell no. Get out of my house. I fought a demon. Well, my boyfriend fought a demon, but, I felt my heart flutter, especially when my eyes landed on Matthew. He kept close to me, glaring daggers into Diana. And given his powers, that could be taken literally. And I could feel that he was completely adamant in his choice to stay. I don't know what, but I was incredibly happy to know he wanted to stay. And skip button back. Matthew walked over to me and held my hand gently, looking at me with a smile.
Everything will be okay. Promise.
Aww, I hope so. I nodded, feeling that he was telling the truth, or at least a hopeful and confirming thought, and smiled back. Matthew gently leaned close to me and kissed my cheek, however, making me blush and forget what I was thinking about. The sound of collective chuckles and playful snickers whispered through the air, making me blush even more. But laughter stopped as Sam let out an oof, after a fluffy object collided with his face. Gosh damn it, Joshua, the murder fairy squirrel. Tabby, we talked about this. I looked up to see Mathew glaring at his brothers, holding up a fluffy anime plushie. He and I pulled away from each other just as the sound of Naomi's car appeared. I quickly ate my food, waved to the boys, and left, confident that nothing was going to happen. Ha ha ha. Oh, famous last words. And skip button. You know what, Dana, you hold lecture, I don't care. Not a word, because again, I don't care. You're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong. Mathew. Darn it, she made me say his name. Why does everyone keep quit rolling against me? Suddenly, Diana stopped in her tracks.
Mathew? Who is...
It then dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys.
Yep.
Why don't you tell me which boy is Mathew?
Guess I don't wanna. I felt myself nod in compliance. The fourth. Diana giggled in reply before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The child?
Hey!
With you?
He is many much man. I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision to reply. Diana let a sound that mimicked a cat's purr before stepping away from me.
All right, then. Well, if it's the fourth son you're infatuated with, you should really rethink your romantic options.
Nah, I'm good. And skip button is returned. My one true love. It'll be okay. I trust him. Bishop?
It'll be okay. Just trust him.
Aww. Okay. Sorry I read your lines. I looked to Mathew, unsure of what was going on, but I nodded. If this was the only way to learn, then this was my chance to know. And skip button's returned. And your dad's a dick. He's on par with my dad for being a dick. That says something. After what seemed like hours, I finally woke up, slightly refreshed. My body knew that I'd slept any longer. I'd be up all night, which was not part of the plan for the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was Mathew, rousing himself up to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?
Oh, damn it, Kay, why did you have to yawn? Now I have to yawn. I feel better. Mathew nodded before I looked down at the bed, taking my hands into his. Oh, concerned, worried face.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
Are you? Are you really? Mathew, it's not your fault. It's crazy bitch Diana's fault. We all know this.
No, please listen. I know that Diana and Malix have come after you because of us, so it's our fault that you're constantly in danger.
Technically true, but meh.
If I hadn't convinced everyone to come to the human world, we would have never been attacked by Malix and hunted down and brought you in danger and...
Yeah, we also wouldn't have met. I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. Mathew, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let all of you stay. Nothing is your fault. Because nothing is no one's fault ever. I gently moved my hand and cupped Mathew's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about the whole ordeal. Diana was desperate, and she'd hunt down any one of them. This wasn't his fault. She was desperate enough to hunt them down. However, I grew curious. So, Mathew, you're a noble? Mathew looked at me and gave a goofy smile. Oh, it is a goofy smile on a drunken face.
I was once, but even if I had the title, I didn't really feel like a noble.
Oh, why not? How come?
Well, I was the fourth noble son of the Demon Lord. With Eric and Sam ahead of me in case James couldn't fulfill his duties, there was no way I was getting the throne.
Oh, I know about
So
that.
I spent the majority of my time trying to make my mother happy. She was always unhappy.
Sorry. Unhappy? How come?
Well, my dad was kind of...
A dick
well,
like mine, yeah.
He married 4 different women. Each of us came from a different mother, and
So I've
my
heard.
mother was the last to be married and bear a son.
Uh-huh.
The thing with succubi, though, is that they get jealous very easily.
Good to know. For, reasons. So what happened?
The other wives got mad and scorned each other.
Aw.
It wasn't violent, but we never ate together for a reason.
That's sad.
My mom, though, was too proud to have jealousy. She was the last woman the Demon Lord married, so she felt important.
Ah.
She felt that because he stopped marrying, she had the charm to stop his marrying spree.
No, he just moved on to concubine. See, Damien. Matthew let out a small laugh, a hint of depression lingering on the breath that he let out.
But then the Demon Lord took another woman and she bore him a son outside of wedlock.
Uh-huh.
Damien.
Yep.
The wives, including my mother, were furious. In response, the
Don't
Demon
blame
Lord
him.
had a spell cast on them, turning them into spiritual orbs.
Boo. That's horrible. Matthew nodded, pressing his lips together in both agreement and sadness.
They could never have physical form, and they lost all their powers. They became slaves trapped in the Demon Lord's castle. However, they were kept alive to make sure their sons grew up to be competent demons.
Awesome. Your dad sounds worse than mine now. Congratulations. I'm sorry. Matthew gently shrugged, letting a small nostalgic smile grace his lips.
She taught me how to be a demon, though.
Uh-huh.
Not just a demon, a grown, adult demon.
Cool.
I read books, I
Awesome.
learned strategy, everything that James was doing under the Demon Lord's watch. Only, I trained with just my mother.
And she was good at those things? 'Cause, yeah, sometimes a poor teacher is not... meh. Oh well, you seem happy about this, so I'm not gonna take it from you. Go start, bro.
She wanted me to surprise the Demon Lord one last time, and maybe take the throne away from James.
No. No. No.